Okay, so I decided to do this review because I'm sick and tired of all the negative press that Duke Nukem Forever is getting as far as a lot of the mainstream reviewers that are out there. I mean, IGN gave it an atrocious score, as well as many other mainstream reviewers like GameSpot and so on. And I think it's kind of unfair in more ways than one. I mean, you have IGN talking about how immature it is. I mean, this is the same reviewer that gave it at Bulletstorm an 8.0. And this is a game where you have skill shots such as gag reflex, explosion, ejaculated, and so on and so forth. That's really the pinnacle of maturity. You give that an 8. But you give Duke Nukem, who is being nothing more than Duke Nukem, a terrible score and say he's immature. I mean, I'm sorry, that's so hypocritical. Aside from that, okay, graphics. I played through the entire game. Graphics really aren't that bad. I mean, you have a few bad renders of some of the character models, but it's nothing that is god-awful. And last time I checked, we played games to enjoy them, not simply just for the shock and awe of the pretty little pictures we see on the screen. So that's also kind of a moot point. The main story, funny enough, takes place 12 years after Duke Nukem 3D, after he's already saved the world. The aliens are back, they're a little pissed off, and they're basically getting Duke where it hurts. His booze and his babes. It's not A-class writing, but again, it is a Duke Nukem game. The difficulty, from what I've seen from my friends playing it, was kind of harsh, even playing on easy. But again, that's not something really to complain about, because I remember the days back when you could play those older games that were so punishing that even if you died once, you had to start from the beginning. So it's really, again, not an issue I could really see, as far as that is concerned. And another thing was brought up, I don't have a high definition TV, so I haven't really noticed the render tears that some people have seen. My only issue that I've had was the load times. I can definitely attest to the fact that the load times are a little bit horrendous. But again, that's to the point where it can be considered, oh, this is just terrible, I can't believe they've done this, this is completely unforgivable, let's go ahead and say this game's garbage. No. Also, the talk of multiplayer. Multiplayer was simply just multiplayer. I mean, it was just another team deathmatch. You had Capture the Babe, which is basically just capture the flag. Not much different than other standard FPS fanfare. But again, you criticize it for that. And I think at one point IGN even pointed out the fact that if you know the maps, you basically have already won the game. Last time I checked, that's just the same as how Call of Duty Modern Warfare as well as Modern Warfare 2 is. I'm pretty sure at one point it's going to be the same with Black Ops, but that's just me thinking. There's also the whole argument about two weapons. Last time I checked, all of your guys' favorite, hero characters, Master Chief, even in Gears of War with Marcus Phoenix and Dom, just about every first-person shooter nowadays uses only two weapons. Okay, I understand back in the day when Duke Nukem had Duke Nukem 3D, you had many different weapons to choose from, but they're trying to make it modern in some senses. I mean, this game was meant to be a Duke Nukem game, and they delivered that on all fronts. I mean, they even said right off the bat, it's not going to be something that's going to be groundbreaking. And I mean, as far as the womanizing thing too, there's only two different kind of women that exist in Duke Nukem's universe. That's slutty women and strippers. So by saying that objectify solely women is to say that all women are either strippers or slutty women, which last time I checked wasn't the case. I mean, there's a lot more humor involved than just simply Duke Nukem's one-liners. I mean, there's a lot of references, both pop culture and video game related, that are very funny, that are featured in the game. I mean, overall when playing it, if you just take it for face value, simply as what it is and what it was meant to be, you're going to enjoy it. But if you try to put it on the same pedestal as all these next-gen, not even so much next-gen, I should say popular first-person shooting games, then it's not going to meet that expectation. I mean, overall the game was a lot of fun. I mean, adding platforming to it was different, and trust me, I absolutely hate platforming, especially in first-person shooter games. But for some reason in Duke Nukem, it wasn't an issue for me. and it really broke up how linear it is to a certain extent. I mean, again, back to IGN, GameSpot, and all the other reviews, they harp on the fact that it's so linear. But if you think about it, all Modern Warfare and most first-person shooters is straight line, cutscene. Go another straight line, cutscene. Another straight line, cutscene. It's all it is. So, just because Duke Nukem's a little less linear, because they decided to add in puzzles and platforming, that it's worse. Duke Nukem Forever is exactly what they promised. It may not have been as flashy as what we all expected over 12 years of development to be, but it's what happens. You know, we don't always get exactly what we expect. But overall, I would still have to give Duke Nukem Forever an 8 out of 10.